What is going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadskii, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. Today's video, Raid Ace, is finally here on Global. I never thought I'd be hearing myself say that, you know, it's just been so long since this character had been revealed as the voting selected character from last year's World Clash. Finally, on Global, Raid Ace has finally arrived. So in this video today, I have 3 separate teams for you guys that will be able to clear this brand new Raid Ace. They're not completely easy to build. Well, the Snake Man team is actually relatively easy to build for. You guys will be seeing it as we go through the dungeon itself. But before we do that, I want to go ahead and talk about the unit itself and also just talk about just the stuff that you can get from this dungeon because it's really, really cool here. So let's go ahead to get date. I've farmed up a decent amount of copies so far. I have fully evolved and max limit broken the Clash Ace. It would have been awesome if he had a voice. Unfortunately, not the case. But this is Raid Ace at max level, at max limit break. He has 3625 health, 1482 attack, 252 recovery. Pretty stock standard stats for a raid boss character. He is a strength free spirit powerhouse. Really big fan of the classes that they chose for him. His captain ability is going to boost powerhouse, free spirit, and fighter characters by 2.5 times, and will boost them by 3 times if you're under 50% HP. Definitely a usable captain, not overly amazing though. You will see, you know, if you are a player that is relatively free to play, you could find uses for a guy like this. But overall, not my favorite captain ability in the game. I'm not 100% sure what his special maxes out at. I would assume it's like 13 or 14 turns. It could be lower, not 100% certain. But it will deal heavy strength damage to a single enemy. I believe it's only around 40 times though. I think it might be about 40 times his attack. It will also go ahead and change block orbs into matching, and if your health is below 30% when you activate the special, he's going to give your powerhouse, free spirit, and fighter characters a 2.25 times orb boost. If you are above 30%, you still get a 2 times orb boost. What a great special. Really, really good special overall, and definitely will see play in very specific teams. So I like the fact that they are releasing a character like this that will actually see play. As for his crewmate abilities, his first one is going to boost the attack of the top row characters by 80. Not a big fan of this. It would have been better if it was just boost, you know, powerhouse, free spirit, and fighters by 80. But the top row characters, understandably because of Whitebeard, but overall not a big fan of that. His secondary one is really good though. It states that it will make your entire team immune to remove SFX, which is the blind status, if your captain is either powerhouse, free spirit, or a fighter character. Really, really good crewmate ability, and that will definitely see play as well. Remove SFX isn't really a thing that can hinder your team. It more just hinders the user of that team, really. It hinders the player. It makes it a little bit difficult to play the game. So having this ability to just remove that all the time is really, really nice. Now, as for Raid Ace, he does have a support ability, and his support ability actually will definitely see play in my personal opinion. It will only attach to Edward Newgate or Whitebeard, and at max level, it will go ahead and state that once per quest, when the supported character uses a damage dealing or an HP reducing special, changes free spirit and powerhouse characters empty and unfavorable slots into matching. This will definitely see play. This could definitely be attached to a character such as Quick Whitebeard. However, you got to remember, if you are attaching it to Quick Whitebeard, you will not be able to use Log Ace on that team because of the overlapping of characters, which is kind of a shame. But if there is a point in a piece of content where you are using Quickbeard and you get like a full board of block orbs or of empty orbs or you know, just unfavorable orbs, you use the Whitebeard special, and then the support ability gives you a full board of matching orbs that cannot be interrupted, which is the key thing here, and that's the reason why it is so good. Now, also something to note here is when you actually clear Raid Ace, you actually get access to a brand new ship, which is really interesting, which is it's actually the Spade pirate ship, which is really cool. I never thought we'd ever see this ship in the game, but you know, lo and behold, here we go. This ship will boost powerhouse, free spirit, and fighters by 1.2 times health and give them 1.5 times attack, and then will boost their attack by 1.6 if you're below 30% when you have the ship active, which is really good. Again, another really good ship for Whitebeard team. So this is just this whole array of events is just for Quick Whitebeard, because this event and Quick Whitebeard are also debuting on Japan for the first time, so it makes a lot of sense why they're having a big celebration for this particular event. But anyways, guys, now that we've spent the time in this video talking about this, let's actually start talking about the dungeon itself. Okay, so actually getting into this dungeon against Raid Ace, we're going to talk about each of these stages first, and then we'll talk about every individual aspect along the way. Stage 3, you'll encounter a mini cannon guy, which will have a barrier, and he is targeted on himself. You also get a 30% health cut on Stage 3. At the start of the fight, your health is cut in half, as well as a reduced recovery buff. We'll talk about that later. But Stage 4 is where you encounter Whitebeard, who can be either strength or int. There are two different variations. They do the exact same thing, though, and they have the same health. It's just that they're different colors. Whitebeard has 2.5 million health. You can see that he has a preemptive of 2 turns of immunity. For the rest of the dungeon, you can only use 3 specials per turn, and there'll also be 4 turns of normal attacks only. We'll talk about that a little bit later. And when you actually kill him, he will deal 18,000 death damage to you. Now, considering how much health you lose throughout this fight, it is highly suggested to bring a damage-reducing effect to tank that death hit. And now talking about the final boss Ace, who has 8.2 million health with a preemptive of 99 turns of delay immunity. He burns you for 3 turns, and that's a 6,000, I think it's 6,000 damage per perfect. So you definitely want a way to get rid of that. Also, your captain will be despaired for 12 turns, and all of your orbs are changed into strength orbs. After the first turn of attacks in turn 2, he'll then apply 1 turn of percent damage reduction. It's a very small rainbow shield, so you don't have to worry about it too much. And also on turn 3, he'll give you strength orbs once again. Now, there is an interrupt on Ace where anytime you activate any sort of special that gives you a buff on your team, he will enrage himself and apply a 1 turn 1 million HP barrier, as you guys can see on the screen right here. Also, when Ace is fully KO'd, he will revive with 1% of his max health, 82,000, and at that point, you know, because it's the second turn, he will activate the percent damage reduction in this example here. Overall, like, looking at it at a glance, Raid Ace looked kind of tricky, especially when we first went into the dungeon, and we all were heading into this dungeon expecting Quick Whitebeard to be the optimal team for this, and he definitely is, in my personal opinion. There'll be a Quick Whitebeard team towards the end here, but yeah, definitely Quick Whitebeard is the highly suggested team for this. If you have Quick Whitebeard, it definitely makes your life a whole lot easier. The second team you guys are seeing here is with V2 Katakuri. Now, I wouldn't suggest farming with this particular team. It's just a little bit slow compared to the other 2 teams that I've showed you guys in this video, but, you know, it got the job done, and I was really interested to see if Katakuri was able to do it, even though the normal attacks only buff or debuff is applied to your team, which I guess we can talk about right now. So you see that the little icon in the bottom left hand corner with the little fist, that little icon means that any sort of special that you use that deals damage to the enemy, whether it be like Katakuri's damage, or whether it be like a fixed damage dealer, or just any type of special that does any sort of damage, it gets reduced down to 1 damage instead of how much regular damage it normally would deal. So that really hinders V2 Katakuri, of course, because his special does no damage. But even still, because of his really good captain effect and very good subs, of course, he's able to carry through it. Another debuff I want to talk about, which I think is actually new to Global, is the reduced healing debuff, which in the bottom left-hand corner of the gameplay you guys are seeing here, the little icon with the arrow and the green bubbles, that specific debuff, what it means is any type of healing that you use, whether it be from auto heals, recovery orbs, special abilities, any type of healing that you get will be reduced by a certain margin. Now, in this fight, all your healing is cut by 80%. So normally with auto heal, I would recover 1000 HP, but as you guys have been seeing in these clips, I only recover 200 HP per turn, and that is a very, very significant debuff to a lot of different teams. Now, there are actually characters that can bypass this specific effect. If you have a special ability that states, fully recover your health, or recover 50% of your max HP, or replace any missing HP on your team, such as the Psy Rare Recruit Chiffon, which does that as well. Any type of special ability like that, another character I can think of is Raid Barto, or the Psy Rare Recruit Marco. Those type of characters will actually bypass that healing debuff. So if you actually really need to get around it, those are some characters that I would suggest looking at. Overall though, I think that the Snake Man once again comes through, and I think that a lot of people that don't have too many characters on their account, Snake Man again will carry you through this dungeon pretty comfortably, I would say, as long as you do have, you know, the necessary characters to get around the specific effects of the bosses. You know, with that heavy despair that you receive on the final boss stage, having a character such as the Ambush Linlin to remove 6 turns of it, and if you have sockets, and then another character that removes despair, that will enable you to bypass that very, very well. Also, the Dex Neptune that we recently got on Global, along with the support ability of the Shirahoshi that is perfect for this boss fight, allowing the support ability to remove the burn on the final boss stage, as you guys are seeing in this clip here, which is the quick Whitebeard team, which is my farming team, and it works very, very well. The runs are typically between 2 to 2.5 minutes, so very, very quick with Whitebeard. But that is going to conclude this video, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and if you guys did, make sure to leave a like, and if you want to stay up to date with all of the content I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. But other than that, guys, I will see you guys within the next video.